The woman who has accused U.S. Supreme Court Justice nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexual assault has now agreed to testify at his confirmation hearings. But the terms under which Blasey Ford will tell her story are still being negotiated, and the timing is also up in the air. So this adds to the ongoing confusion surrounding a process the White House is eager to see completed quickly. The CBC's Stephen D'Souza is watching this story for us. He joins us now from New York. So Stephen, where does the news process begin at this stage?
Well, there was a deadline of about 2:30 this afternoon where the Senate Judiciary head, Chuck Grassley, had given Blasey Ford and her lawyers to come up with a decision about whether they wanted to testify and how they wanted to testify. And so late this afternoon, her lawyer sent a letter to the committee where they said she accepts the committee's request to provide first-hand knowledge of Brett Kavanaugh's sexual misconduct next week. But they also said that they don't agree with some of the details and proposals put forward by the committee in terms of how and when she would actually testify before the committee. There was debate about who would question her. Would it be the committee members themselves, or would it be an outside counsel? Would she appear first before Brett Kavanaugh, or would she appear after Brett Kavanaugh? So those details still need to be worked out. This letter rather, says that they want to set up a time later this afternoon to continue negotiations. And so essentially what this does is it doesn't really end the drama around her testimony, actually sort of continues it and puts the ball squarely in Chuck Grassley's court, the head of the Senate Judiciary Committee. It's now up to him to decide what day, whether or not he wants to accept this invitation or this agreement to testify, and how the testimony will take place. He could decide not to allow her to testify, and he could go ahead, as they've threatened to do, with a vote on Kavanaugh's nomination on Monday. Both decisions come with political consequences, though. Senate Republicans don't want to appear to be on the wrong side of the Me Too movement. They also want to get Kavanaugh nominated quickly so he can be on the court for its October 1st session in time for the midterm. So a lot to deal with, a lot to grapple with, and the drama around this nomination still far from over.
In the meantime, we know that Kavanaugh was selected by President Donald Trump, who has now not remained silent on this issue. What is he saying?
Well, up until this point, Senate Republicans have gone with the strategy of hands-off, not really criticizing Blasey Ford or her allegations. But the president, for his part, has changed that strategy. He's gone after her directly in a series of tweets yesterday, questioning her credibility, questioning why she didn't come forward. And he continued that last night during a campaign appearance in Missouri. Take a listen.
A senator, good guy, said to me the other day, it was very interesting, because we were talking about, frankly, Judge Kavanaugh. And I said, we have to fight for him, not worry about the other side. And by the way, women are for that more than anybody would understand.
Now, Vice President Mike Pence was speaking at an event today as well, and he also said that the nomination of Brett Kavanaugh should continue and should go ahead. So it'll be interesting to see how all of this plays out. We have yet to hear from Chuck Grassley or the Senate Judiciary Committee as to how they're going to respond to this letter from Blasey Ford and her lawyers. So the drama around this will continue, and we'll have to wait and see just what they do and just in what form she'll testify before this committee.